On November 26, 1930, the front page of the Maydeen Daily Journal, a Canadian newspaper, published a shocking headline, "Village of the Dead." This headline sent waves of fear throughout Canada because an entire tribe in northern Canada had mysteriously disappeared overnight, without leaving a single trace. Welcome back to another mysterious episode on MazTV. Today, we travel to the remote northern region of Canada, to the edge of a frozen lake called Anjikuni Lake, where a small Inuit, Eskimo, tribe once lived. The tribe had around 100 to 150 people, who survived by fishing in the lake and hunting in the nearby forests. This part of Canada is so desolate that only a few thousand people live across millions of square kilometers, mainly because of the extreme cold and harsh conditions. The lake and its surroundings also attracted hunters from nearby areas who came in search of game. On one freezing day in November 1930, a hunter named Joe Labelle arrived in the area for hunting. He became so engrossed in his hunt that he didn't realize when night fell. Just like in the past, he planned to spend the night with the friendly Eskimo tribe near the lake, people known for warmly welcoming visitors. It was a moonlit night, but there was an eerie silence all around. Joe couldn't see anyone or hear any voices, just the sound of his own footsteps. As he approached the village, he noticed that some tents had smoke rising from them, suggesting people were inside. But when he entered, they were all empty.
Joe was shocked to see that there was no sign of any human or animal life. In some tents, food pots were still sitting on stoves, but the food was burned, indicating someone had started cooking but never returned to eat. Needles with thread were still embedded in half-stitched clothes, as if people had suddenly dropped everything and left. He began to search the entire village. He found dogs tied to ropes, all of them dead from hunger. Even though food was lying in front of them, no one had been around to feed them. He also discovered a freshly dug grave, which made him feel even more uneasy. Everything pointed toward a sudden and unexplained disappearance. Terrified by what he had seen, Joe Labelle rushed to the nearest telegraph office and informed the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP. When police arrived, they confirmed everything Joe had reported, but there were no signs of blood, violence, or broken items. Nothing that would suggest an attack or massacre. A search operation was launched immediately. A bizarre detail emerged during the investigation. The entire area was covered in snow, but there were no footprints at all, except for Joe Labelle's. Even the lake was frozen solid and the boats were parked on shore, as fishing isn't possible in that season. Investigators found that the villagers had vanished days before Joe arrived, as the dogs had already died from long starvation, and smoke still rising from the huts meant the fire had been extinguished not too long ago. After months of searching and no answers, the case was officially declared unsolved and closed. 50 years later, in 1984, two writers, Roger Boer and Nigel Blundell, wrote an article linking the disappearance to aliens. They claimed to have met a hunter and his sons who had seen flying objects above the lake heading toward the village. But without any concrete evidence, their theory was widely rejected. Even today, nearly 100 years later, no one knows what really happened to the people of Anjikuni Lake. The mystery of the missing Eskimo tribe remains unsolved.